We are about to begin our closing plenary for this evening. Once again, inviting everyone who can hear the sound of my voice to come on inside, to take a seat, and let's begin. I'm seeing a nice group right there at the entrance. I'm inviting you to come on in. Yes, we're waiting on you. I think after such a long day spent together, we're all family. So I think it's time for us to close out this family affair. Or at least pause it, yes? Until our next meeting. How were the parallel sessions? Were they good? Insightful? Energizing? Yes? No. It could not have been that energizing if the yeses are so low. I'm going to ask again. How were the parallel sessions? Were they good? Yes. Energizing? Insightful? I see someone hold their face like this. I'm guessing maybe that session wasn't so good. Okay. But we're now at the way forward. We've had a number of discussions, starting from this morning into this afternoon. We talked about education of the future, financing education. But what are the recommendations that we're taking into the global education meeting to happen in October of this year in Brazil? To answer that question, I invite on stage UNESCO Assistant Director General for Education, Ms. Stefania Giannini. She'll be presenting on the recommendations that we will have for that meeting. Please make her welcome.
Thank you so much to be here still, to be still alive and very, let's say, committed to go ahead. Well, I think it was a really great day for all of us, very inspiring discussions. I couldn't follow, honestly, all the parallel sessions, but I could grasp here and there a few topics. But I think that most importantly, we are really continuing this process of building the momentum for education and having a clear roadmap in front of us in the coming weeks, months, and years, hopefully. And the results of the discussion we had during this intense day are really heading towards the global education meeting in Fortaleza, and in a few weeks before that at the HLPF, the High-Level Political Forum, where the Secretary General and the Deputy Secretary General who's just joined us. Thank you so much for your leadership, always being with us, supporting us, is convening another important moment in July. So I try my best, and sorry I will not be exhaustive, to pick up a few cross-cutting takeaways from today's discussions. And I will present a few thoughts on these and then next steps. First, we heard in all the parallel sessions, in the plenary session this morning, that from the very inspiring speeches from the Director General, the Deputy Secretary General, and President Boric, that at the end of the day, the principles of equity and equality must be at the very core of any transformation happening in education. Education must be actually inclusive and accessible for all learners, giving girls and boys the same chances to success. This is what the fundamental human right that education is about must be. And it must take into account also those who are really very much behind, learners with disabilities. We showcased through the first data we got from our dashboard that, not surprisingly, countries are very much focusing on equity and equality, but learners with disabilities are not yet at the very core of the policies that are taking actions to transform education systems. So this is a point that it's important, will be very much more at the core of our debate from now to September and beyond. And another point, in a context of increased crisis around the world, education must address the specific needs of other groups who are really very much still behind. Refugees, displaced people, those children deprived by the right to education because of conflicts, because of difficult situations in their countries, also as education is a victim of climate change many times. And this is another very strong message that comes from our discussions. The second point is about the role of curriculum. We know all that curriculum can change the world. Curriculum is the content, is the trade union between teachers, learners, and society. So working on the content and making, let's say, an agile curriculum, which is open to the new challenges and providing the new skills to children and learners and youth, is very much at the core of transformation. And this includes, crucially, the two main transitions that society is now passing through, the digital one and the green one. And we've already discussed in other contests this year, we can go green while going digital. And we must go digital, keeping in mind that saving the planet and protecting the planet is our main, let's say, way to survive on this earth. And I think that the two main outcomes, two of the two main outcomes of the Transforming Education Summit, the Global Gateway for Digital Learning as a Public Common Good, led by UNESCO and UNICEF, and the Greening Education Partnership, which now gathers some more than 86 countries, are very much two concrete initiatives that are being deployed at country level. We need, for sure, to equip this generation of learners with the skills, the knowledge, the skills, and the awareness of these challenges in order to be the future citizens we need for changing the course. And we need to develop all these skills, including digital skills, for women and girls who are still too often behind when it's about change and it's about a new model of teaching and learning. Well, the third theme that, in my opinion, emerged so clearly is that to achieve quality education through equity and equality put at the center of policies, and addressing the new many challenges through a new model of learning and teaching, we need teachers, qualified teachers, motivated teachers, valorized teachers with the dignity of their profession and the social recognition of their social role. Indeed, to address the 44 million global teacher shortage, we need a change. We need a huge change in the course of how governments and political leaders are really focusing on the teaching profession. This is the clear message from the Transforming Education Summit. It is the clear message from the high-level panel on the teaching profession and the UNESCO Global Report on teachers. And this means supporting teachers' professional development, respecting their academic freedom and autonomy, and improving the working conditions. It was, let's say, interesting to see that while 95% of countries from our data through the dashboard are implementing policies on teachers and the teaching profession, only a few part of them are working on increasing salary, increasing the condition of, I see somebody there very much convinced at this point. So that's the work to do. That's the kind of discussion that we have to include in this main track on teachers as the agents for change. And this brings me, I'm going to conclude. I know you're tired, and it's not yet concluded for us because there is the launch of the report on early childhood care and education on the 7th floor for those who are still energized to come in and listen and attend. Well, but the fourth and final topic I can't avoid to mention, which is about financial support to all these measures, financial support to the vision that we are sharing in this room, and we are transmitting to the rest of the world that education must be at the very core of all any other change to achieve all SDGs now and to, let's say, going beyond 2030, because I think that another important dimension to include in our debate is which are the next steps beyond 2030. And I do believe that the Pact for the Future, which is crafted around, let's say, cross-cutting pillars by purpose, peace and security, financing sustainable development, digital transformation, and science and technology evolution, as well as governance of the system and youth engagement and leadership is very much, let's say, the next part of the roadmap that we have to start to think about and to shape together. Well, I do believe that if you agree that these are more or less the main topics we wish to focus on and to put at the core of our dialogue, the last point I wish to mention is that this dialogue needs to be intergenerational and inclusive, with youth leading the way. Maybe you remember that last year here on this stage at the pre-summit was almost the same week, maybe a week later. We said and we demonstrated that the new movement we were building from Paris to New York has a great difference from the past as now and had last year leadership, clear leadership from young people. And the young people are still very much behind us. Young people are still very much interested to share this agenda and to contribute actively to build this agenda together. And I wish to take the opportunity to thank all the representatives of the different networks of young people who are constantly focusing with us on this important dialogue. Well, this is the let's say, rich menu we have in front of us. I do believe that partnership and leadership are other two important dimensions that could help us to develop this agenda in the coming months. I think that the next steps from New York in July to Fortaleza, New York first for the Pact for the Future, and Fortaleza in Brazil, end of October and beginning of November, will be our milestone moments. And I do believe that through these values, principles, and through a real unprecedented mobilization of the political leadership at the highest level, I was really impressed. I hope you are on the same page by this very young leader, Gabriel Boric, this morning, who explained how, it's not the place we are born, it's not the family we come from, it's not, let's say, what we are at the beginning of our lives, the destiny that we must necessarily have for the rest of our, to unlock our potential. And it's only education can change the course for people, individuals, and society. So I thank you so much to be great partners in this amazing mission. Thank you so much, and thank you, DSG, for being with us.
Thank you, UNESCO Assistant Director General for Education, Ms. Stefania Giannini. 2 years ago, we stood here and we demanded more. We planned for more. We also committed to more. Now, at the end of our Stocktake this evening, how do we feel? Do we feel that we're making real progress? Do we feel that there's a little bit more energy left in the tank to achieve more effective policies and programs for the young people and students of the world, more strategic and sustained partnerships? Whatever your answer is, leaving here this evening, my response as a young person from the Global South to you is this: transformative world can only come from transformative actions. And you, whether as a government official, member of an international organization, civil society, and even my fellow young person, can only achieve this if you dare to be ambitious. Let's see what the outcome will be in 2030. Thank you. It was my absolute pleasure being the moderator for today. I'm all the way from Jamaica. I'll be heading home tomorrow. I'm leaving with you some sunshine from my beautiful little island country. And I really hope I'll get to meet and greet with some of you at our launch happening right now. We'll be having a cocktail between now and 8 p.m. So if you're around, I'd love to say hi. And if you're leaving, I wish for you a safe journey back home. It was my absolute pleasure being your moderator, and I hope you had a wonderful day here at our Stocktake. Have a great evening.